Okay, but before this, I'll give you some basic settings which is required before starting any drawing, means drawing setup. So we'll talk about this method, but before this, drawing setup. So you can write drawing setup. Under drawing setup, let me quickly give you the points, then I'll explain the same. I'm going to erase this. Now under drawing setup, first you can write units. Units nothing but un enter, the command you know. We'll set the units, how I'll show you. Second is limits. Limits and enter, and we'll set the limits. If required, after setting the units and limit and with some basic settings, if required, we can save that as a template file. I'll show you that also. So nothing but creating template file. Creating template file. I'll show you this. Simple. Is online. Can I erase this?
Yes,
Units is un, limits is limits only. Then with the basic settings, we can create our own template file, and then we'll start the line command. Okay, because if you not set the limits, when you draw without setting the limit, either the drawing is going to be very small or very big, so you'll get a lot of confusion in at the time of working. And apart from this, remember the AutoCAD screen. Let me open the AutoCAD screen. This AutoCAD screen is unlimited in all the site, means there is no limit for this AutoCAD drawing window. AutoCAD drawing window, remember, is infinite in all the directions. It means if you want, you can draw a small room of 10 by 10 feet, or else you can draw an entire city. So Hyderabad city or entire any other city. Means even in GIS, Geographical Information System, the AutoCAD is used. In that you'll find they will work with the city maps, city plumbing system, city telephone system, or services related to the city. Even on that, the people are using AutoCAD. So remember, AutoCAD window, the drawing window is unlimited in all the direction. So if you not set the limit, what will happen? You'll get the confusion. I'll show you. So here I'm going to create a new file. You see already I set the template. For example, I'm using say ACAD, or ACAD means for English system, you know this, and ACAD ISO for metric system. So for example, I'm using this ACAD ISO for metric system. So here so you see ACAD ISO, CAD and ACAD ISO. So you know this ACAD is for English system. I think already explained in the previous session. And ACAD ISO is for metric. So for example, at present I'm using ACAD ISO because I'm interested to deal with the in means metric. So I'm selecting this. After that, you see directly the ACAD ISO template with the template file, the AutoCAD file is on screen. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll set the units first. You see, using the template, which template? ACAD ISO, nothing but the metric template. I'm going to create my own template. Means I'm just showing how to create your own template with the existing default template. So what I did, I used the default template now, and after that I'm going to do the settings. For example, units, the first option, type un enter, and you see if you can go for F12 units. So when you press F12, you can switch off the dynamic input. You see, again one more time, you can make a note of this, F12 to switch on and off dynamic input. You see, when I press F12 and when I type un, you can see the input you can find on the screen. But again, when I press F2, the dynamic input is off. Now when I type units, sorry, let me switch off. Then now when I type units, you can notice it is in the command line only, not on the screen. So if you are getting confusion with the dynamic input, you don't want to see the commands on screen, you want to see the commands only in the command line, then F12 will help you. F12 is used to switch on and off the dynamic input. Okay, one more time, you see, I'm going to press F12. Then when I type un, you can see the un is in un, you can find where you at the cursor position. Okay, but this will create confusion for me generally, so I'll use to switch off this F12. So F12 to switch off, then I'm going to type un enter. Then UN is for units. You know this. I think already given in the previous session. If you don't know, please make a note. UN is a unit command for units. Enter, you'll get the window. In this, we are going to set the units. So here I'm selecting the decimal because I want to work with the 0.00, means decimal, means with precision. You can go for architectural also. Later I'll show you an example with the architectural. You can use how to use the input in feet and inches. At present decimal, so most commonly we are using in decimal format in the for the length. And precision, you see, for this building services, you see, we are learning this AutoCAD for what? To deal with the HVAC drafting, or you can also deal with the plumbing, firefighting, electrical drafting. So means for building services, right? So remember, for building services, 2-digit accuracy is more than enough. Because we are not dealing with the precision like component designing. In case of component designing, like this manufacturing of a piston or a connecting rod, any engine component, as a mechanical or as an engineer, you can relate this. For component side, the precision required in or in microns. And you know what is micron? 1,000 part of an is 1 micron. So that very high accuracy is required. But in building services, we don't require that much of accuracy. I'll go for 2-digit accuracy only. That will be enough. Or else you can go for the 0-digit accuracy also. That is also okay for building services. Because if you talk about the duct size, if the duct width increase to 1 or 2 that will not affect to the system. If the pipe length increase to 1 inch also will not affect to the system. Anyhow, I'm not talking about dia. Dia is good related to again the manufacturing side. The length of the pipe, say chill water pipe or refrigerant pipe, if the length increase to 1 inch also will not affect to the system. Or else in electrical, if the cable line is increased to say 5 or 10 will not affect. I'm not talking about the dia of this gauge of the cable. That gauge of the cable again refers to the manufacturing side. So here the precision is more than enough for 2-digit. I'm selecting 2-digit precision. You must take care of this precision as per the system. If you're dealing with the component designing, you may require 9-digit accuracy. For the system designing, means this building services system, 2-digit accuracy is more than enough. Okay. Next, angle type, make sure that decimal degree is selected. You see, we are not dealing with all the option all the time, which is commonly used as per the required system. I'm showing this showing the options. Okay, so go for decimal degree, then precision 0 in angle, and by default, you know this, the angle measurement is what? Clockwise, anti-clockwise, na? By default anti-clockwise, 0, 90, 180, etc. Rotation is anti-clockwise by default. If you want to change this to clockwise, then you can select this, or else no need to select this. Okay. Then go for the millimeter, because insertion scale I'm going to use in millimeter. Means when I enter 10 means by default I'll get 10 line. Suppose if I select this meter, so when I meter, for example, here somewhere you can find out meter. When I select the meter, then when I enter 10 in line with the distance 10 means you'll get 10 meter line. At present, just for learning the basic exercise, I'm selecting a millimeter. Anyhow, when we are dealing with the metric system, we'll go for this millimeter. Then go for OK. In lighting, I'm not bothered at this level, so I just click OK. So unit is set. Now you see when I type L and first point line command, I'll show you. Just I'm showing the unit. And ortho on is F8. You can please make a note. F8 is for ortho on and off. Quickly, okay, just to write down. I'll give you the idea about this function keys: F1, F2, F3 up to F12. Like F12 is dynamic input on and off. Similarly, F8 for ortho means we can get the state lines horizontal and vertical when you switch on the ortho. That is, the shortcut is F8. Or else you can find out here also. You see, at the task in the status bar you can find out. You see, and you can also read F8 is a function key for ortho on and off. This is very commonly used when you want to draw horizontal vertical lines. Make sure that ortho is on, so that you'll not get you'll not waste the time by adjusting the line to horizontal vertical. For example, if I switch off the ortho, you see the line is free to move. And if I want to draw horizontal line, I need to set like this carefully, then draw. But if ortho is on, by default you'll get horizontal vertical lines only in 4 direction. You'll not get the angle line. For angle line, again you need to switch off ortho. I'll show you this. This is just some basic options at the time of learning. For example, with the ortho on line command, and just I'm entering 10, the second point. So when I enter 10 means what? You'll get 10 mm. You see, I'm going to zoom this, and when I type, when you check this line distance, you'll get 10 mm by using the command di. This is comes under distance command that we have a separate topic for inquiry commands. We'll discuss quickly. I'm just using di, distance from this point to this point, and F2 is for command window to on and off. You see, you can read this 10, so nothing but 10 mm now, because we enter that insertion unit as mm, so by 10 means 10 mm. Okay, so these are some basics. The command is not start yet. I'll show you. Means after this drawing setup. So unit is done, and the next step is what? After units, so unit is done, next we'll go for limits. Limits is important. If you not set the limit, you'll get the confusion. For example, now when I zoom out, now I'm going to draw a line. You see, zoom out, I'm going to draw a line from this point, say 5 mm. You see, 5 mm is very small in visibility on the screen. Why? Because the limit is not set. Limit means don't think that we are going to set the limit because any limitation in the screen. As I said at the beginning, there is no limitation on the screen. The drawing area is unlimited in all the direction. Then why we are going to set the limit? Only for visibility, to avoid confusion. Suppose if you're drawing with the small drawings, then we'll set the limited limit so that when you use the zoom command, that the visibility will be easy on screen. Now you see, when I draw this 5 mm line, the 5 mm line is very small somewhere. It's not visible clearly, right? So for that reason, we can set the limit. I'll show you. So I'm going to erase this. Now I'm going to set the limits. So for limits, the command, you can make a note, limits, limits, enter. You see, it's starting the lower left corner. Lower left corner means the starting point. For example, if you want to set the limit, the drawing limit, let me show you with the drawing. Suppose this is my drawing limit, and this point is a lower limit, and this point is a upper limit. So lower limit I am considering 0, 0, means I am interested to start from the origin, and the upper limit you can set as per the drawing. For example, my drawing is less than say 100 mm. For example, I'm just drawing a small exercise initially. So my drawing is going to be, the dimension is going to be less than 100 mm. So what I'll do, I'll go for upper limit 100, 100, just for learning. And this limit you can set as per the drawing size. Suppose if you want to draw a very big project, then you can set the big limits like 10,000 by 10,000 mm or more than that, if you're drawing with a building or any other big components. But here, just for example, lower limit is 0, 0, upper limit is 100, 100. Okay, how I'll show you. So you, once again, in the command window, limits, upper limit, enter 0, 0. Carefully follow the command window. You see what I've given the input, 0, 0. You can read 0, not dot. So, and you see here you can find 0 0.00, 0 0.00, means 2-digit accuracy we have considered. That's the reason I'm getting this 2-digit decimal after decimal 2-digit. But it's not mean that always you need to go for 0 0.00, 0 0.00. You can directly go for 0, 0. So 0, 0 is a lower limit. Now upper limit, for example, 100, 100. So again, I'm explaining, limit we are setting only for drawing visibility, not for any limitation on the screen, because the drawing screen or the drawing area is unlimited. So 100, 100. After that, one more command you can use. You can make a note, zoom, Z enter, A enter, Z enter, A enter. Z is for zoom, A for overall window. We have a list of commands for zoom that I'll show you as a separate topic, like zoom window, zoom extend, zoom previous, etc. That we'll discuss. We have a separate topic for that. At this level, just make a note, Z enter, A enter. Z enter, A enter means what? Z is for zoom and A is for overall window. Overall window means what limit is set, that is going to be adjusted on the screen. We set 0, 0, 100, 100 na? So when I go for Z enter, A is overall window, means overall limits. What we update just now, that is going to be set on the visible screen. Okay, so I'll show you now. And for your reference, what I'll do, just for your reference, I'm going to draw a rectangle And how to draw the rectangle, we have a separate command. At this level I'm not showing drawing the rectangle, I'm just drawing a rectangle just to get the boundary for the limits, so that when I type z into a enter, you'll get the idea. So I'm getting a rectangle with the origin 0, 0, then dimensions 100, 100 and 100. You see, so this rectangle dimension is 100 by 100 and starting is 0, 0, means same as the limit. Now go for z enter, a enter. Now you can notice the as per the drawing, and when I zoom out, this is your limit. This is 0, 0, origin nothing but your UCS, and this upper limit is 100, 100. Okay, so when I type z enter, a enter, the limit going to be the limit what we set is going to be visible on screen. Okay, now if I draw a line, for example, from here, say 30 mm. So when I enter 30, you see it's clearly visible. In the big area, if I draw, for example, if I zoom out like this, and when I draw a line with say 30 mm, you see where it is. It is very small somewhere here. Getting a point. So to avoid all these issues, we are going to set the limit for visibility point of view. I think you got my point. Why the need of why the need of limits?
Yes, sir.
So generally, before starting the drawing, before starting the project, as per the drawing dimensions, we'll set the limit slightly more than the drawing requirement, so that whenever you type z enter, a enter, the complete limit is going to be set on the visible screen. Okay, getting a point?
Yes, sir.
So drawing setup is done. Now, sorry, we have some more options. After drawing setup, means units, limits, and z enter, a enter, make sure that ortho is on, and we'll switch on this. You see ortho and this polar tracking. Sorry, ortho. Then you see grid. I'm going to switch off. Grid means you can see the grid, the graph on the screen. I don't want to use this grid. That will create confusion. Initially, if you want for the reference, like one division is 1 unit, but I'm going to switch off this grid. Or F7. F7 is a shortcut for the grid and on and off. Or else you can switch on and off from here. But I make sure that the ortho is on, and here you see object snap tracking, F3. Sorry, my mistake. F3 is here. Object snap. This also I'm going to switch on, because this is also very useful. We have a separate topic for this F3 or snap. Object snap settings. We'll get the reference point like endpoint, midpoint, etc. Don't worry, I'll give you all this in detail. Just I'm giving the idea. You see, as per my requirement, I say switch off this two option, and now I can save this as a template file. So I'm going to save this, save as, you see, drawing template, and I'm going to save on the desktop, say my template. That is what this metric na. So SM this metric. So type hyphen, say M means metric. I'm going to save on the desktop and go with the default settings and click OK. Now I'm going to close this file. Now you see I create my own template. Next time, if you want the same settings, same limits, same units, etc., for any project, I can directly use the template in the project. Okay, so how to use the template in the project? You see here in template, open files. Sorry, my mistake. Directly go to this application menu and go for new. You see, if you want to select the template from the default, directly you can select from here. In that, you see the my template is not available, which I saved just now, because these are the template with the default location. So if you want to use the default template, directly select from here, at directly the project start from the default template. But if now I'm interested to use my own template, right? So for own template, what you do, go for this application menu and select new, and you see the software will ask you to select the template. So I can go to the desktop, because just now I saved that my template on desktop location. So go to desktop, find out my template, then open. Now on screen, the project start with the template, means with the template means the setting what I did. You can confirm, type units, you see precision 0,0 decimal what we set, and you see the ortho is on and snap setting is on, and on the screen you can find the rectangle actually I draw because just to show the limit. It's not required to draw all the time. You can just directly set the limit, or let me confirm the limits. You see limits, lower limit you can see 0,0, enter. Upper limit you can read 100,100 what I set. Like this you can go for your own settings and create your own template, and that template can be used in the project to save the time. So just now I use the template now, so next time whenever I want the same units I can use this template. I can directly start drawing. Okay,